Have you ever felt like the world has already decided you're not good enough? Like no matter how hard you try, success is just out of reach? You stare at the clock, wondering if it's too late to start again. That was the moment everything changed, but not in the way you'd expect. What if I told you the darkest moments aren't the end, but the beginning of something incredible? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share isn't just a story, it's the proof that even when the odds are stacked against you, there's always a way forward. And by the end of this video, you'll see why giving up is never the answer. Let me take you on the road from struggle to success. It was a cold night, and the only sound was the distant hum of passing cars. In a tiny room, barely big enough to fit a bed, sat someone staring at an empty notebook. The walls seemed to close in, heavy with the weight of failure. Bills were piled high on the table, and the clock on the wall seemed louder than ever, marking the passing time. Each tick felt like a reminder of how little had been achieved, how far success seemed to be. This wasn't how life was supposed to be. Dreams, once vivid and bright, had turned into burdens. The rejection letters still sat in a drawer, unopened now because each one brought the same message: "We regret to inform you." Hope was slipping away like sand through fingers. It felt like the world had already decided there was no space for someone like this, no room to grow, no chance to shine. But deep down, there was a spark. It wasn't bright. It was barely noticeable. It flickered like a candle in the wind, but it was there. The thought whispered, "What if? What if there's still a way? What if this isn't the end?" The next morning, the alarm went off at 5:00 a.m. It wasn't easy to get out of bed, not when the weight of yesterday still clung so heavily. But today was different. Today, there was a decision. It wasn't a grand, sweeping declaration. It was small, almost quiet. I will try again. The first step was hard. It always is. But that step led to another, and then another. Rejection still came, and doubts still whispered, louder now than ever. The voice of fear said, "What if you fail again? What if you're wasting your time?" But for every doubt, there was a response. What if I don't? The days were long, and the nights felt even longer. There were times when it felt like no progress was being made. Hours of effort seemed to yield nothing. But slowly, almost imperceptibly, things began to shift. A small opportunity appeared. It wasn't much, but it was a start. And that was all that was needed, a start. There were setbacks, of course. One step forward often felt like it was followed by 2 steps back. It was frustrating, exhausting, and lonely. Friends disappeared, unable to understand the quiet determination to keep going when the results were so small. But something had changed now. Failure didn't feel final anymore. It felt like a lesson, a teacher pointing out what needed to be improved. The hardest part wasn't the work itself. It was battling the voice in the mind that said, "You're not good enough. You're wasting your time. Just give up." That voice didn't go away, but it got quieter. Each small victory, no matter how insignificant it seemed, drowned it out a little more. Months passed, and things started to take shape. The progress was slow, but it was there. The first real breakthrough came when someone finally noticed the work. It was a small acknowledgement, a comment, a word of encouragement. But it was enough to keep going. The struggle didn't disappear, but now it felt different. It wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about growth. The challenges were still there, but so was the determination to face them head on. The pain of failure had taught resilience, and the fear of rejection no longer had power. And then, one day, something incredible happened. A door opened that had been closed for so long. It wasn't luck. It was the result of countless hours of effort and sacrifice. The opportunity wasn't handed over easily. It had to be earned. But this time, there was confidence. This time, the hard work had prepared the way. The success didn't come all at once. It wasn't a grand, sudden moment of triumph. It was a series of small wins, each one building on the last. Each success felt sweeter because it had been so hard fought. The struggle had given it meaning, had made it matter. Looking back, the pain of the journey didn't disappear, but it no longer felt like a burden. Instead, it felt like a badge of honor, proof of strength and determination. The failures, the rejections, The long nights, they all became part of the story, a testament to what it means to persevere. In the end, the road from struggle to success wasn't about reaching the destination. It was about the transformation that happened along the way. It was about finding strength in the darkest moments, about learning to rise after every fall. Against all odds, success wasn't just achieved, it was earned, and that made all the difference. And that's the truth about success. It's not about where you end up, but the strength it takes to get there. Every setback, every rejection, every long night, they aren't the end of your journey. They're the lessons that shape your story, the stepping stones to your greatest achievements. Today, I want to leave you with this. No matter how tough things seem, no matter how many times you've fallen, don't stop moving forward. Take one small step today, whether it's picking up that notebook, sending that email, or simply choosing not to give up your future self. Well, thank you for it. If this story resonated with you, if it inspired even the smallest spark of hope, do one more thing. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Together, let's keep growing, learning, and turning our struggles into success stories.